Call on Yahweh Yahweh Shemel Shai Bisham Kokodash. All praise and honor glory to our power Yahweh Shemel Shai Bisham Kokodash, and give double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shemel Mafas and Mappa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp of Philadelphia. Coming another wee lesson. You have it here. And this new story that spiked my interest. Charges dropped against TN man or Tennessee, I believe, arrested for sharing a political meme. The original post I seen was just him being arrested and for something that he had posted a statement, or as you have it here, that a meme that he put on a social media site, and it had the body cam footage of them actually going and the police going for him. Okay, well, it appeared he knew why they was coming there, but he was just a bit shocked of pretty much the gravity or nature of what it was about. Okay, now we're just gonna go here. Fair use warning off of WKRN News 2. This is for educational purposes only. All right, a Perry County man arrested over Facebook being criticizing Nero 47. All right, your commander in chief. All right, he's now a free man, so we'll play it right here. All right, it's for educational purpose only. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Arrested over a Facebook meme criticizing President Trump is now a free man. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Rogas. This is a story we first reported yesterday on News 2 at 6. Larry Bouchard was arrested and charged with threatening mass violence at a school after sharing this Facebook post following Charlie Kirk's assassination. News 2 just confirmed those charges have been dropped.
This is Kelly Milan is live in Perry County tonight, where she spoke to Bouchard as he returned home. Kelly.
Yeah, Bob and Haley, we actually caught up with him as he was coming home, driving home straight from jail. He says he's happy, but he had a really tumultuous year. Take a listen at our conversation we had earlier today. Did you ever think you would end up in jail? I mean, you're a retired officer.
No, I didn't anticipate, oh, you're a bad person, they're going to come haul you away. No, this caught me off guard.
That's like, you see, as they mentioned, he's a retired officer. Now, a lot of them different police officers have different political beliefs. And, as we do know, pursuing to the scriptures, the rogueman, all right, like Joshua, Adawam, which that's in the Hebrew for, as we know, who is E, all right. Their house divided. Okay, so you're gonna have it where, yeah, they come from the same kindred, but they do have different beliefs. Okay, this is Matthew chapter 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Okay, and the Lord knew the thoughts. Okay, which he know the thoughts of course, the Israelites. Okay, and back then, and he knows the thoughts of the Israelites even now, and obviously the other thoughts of the other nations too. Okay, simple as that. The Lord actually puts the different thoughts within the heeds, of course, and of the person, and that comes forth. Okay, and as pursuant to Proverbs, I believe the 16th chapter, it tells you that the preparation of the heart and man. I'll read it again. The preparations of the heart or the mind. Okay, and man, and the answer of the tongue is from Yahweh. So if that answer, okay, that speech, okay, that response is from the power, then really you're not speaking nothing of yourself. Okay, it's all controlled, whether it's on the right or left. Okay, simple as that. Ma Iraq is the preparations. All right, Ma Iraq. All right, which you have that in Hebrew. Okay, you have La Adam. All right, going into in man. Okay, or two man. Yeah, Ma Iraq. Yeah. All right, going into the preparations. All right, going into the arrangement and the mental disposition. Okay, of a person, the plans and such. Okay, a person just don't go upon themselves to be doing what they want to do. Okay, there's no free will when it comes to the scriptures. All right, as we do know, and pursuant to the precept, Proverbs 16:9, a man's heart devises his way, but Yahweh directeth his steps. So, that is how Yahweh Bashem Yahshai move a person. Okay, the Lord, he directed. Even he put the thoughts in him. Then this guy sitting there devising it. Oh, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it that. Hey, the Lord make the person and direct them to where they're supposed to execute. All right. Again, Proverbs 19:21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahweh that shall stand. Okay. And it's all about what the Lord wants. Okay. Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are Yahweh of the Most High. Okay, how can a man then understand his own way? In Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart are even your rulers. Okay, like Nero 47, the commander in chief. All right, and is in the hand or the power of Yahweh. As rivers of water, he turned it whithersoever he will. So even the rulers, their minds are controlled. All right. So, when going to this, this man was a part of the, ex police officer. And he was brought in for statements he said. And what you have to understand, the point I was trying to bring out is that you're not going to be able to just say anything that you want to say in these times, okay? Because, especially with the emergence of the social credit, okay, and the draconian measures that do follow with it, and people are going to be arrested and going to be under, without even going through what they have it, the certain what they call it, habeas corpus, right? Right, which is the due process, right? You have the body, okay, forces the government to justify their imprisonment. Some be wait, they don't even know what's going on, okay?
Larry Bouchard was arrested in September after sharing a meme quoting President Trump's comment following a 2024 school shooting in Iowa. Investigators said that sparked fear among parents who saw it on a Perry County Facebook group, leading to his arrest, where he stayed in jail for over a month. Now, a new letter from State Representative Justin Jones is turning the small-town arrest into a statewide fight. In the letter, Jones calls Bouchard's case a brazen attempt to criminalize political speech. He accuses Sheriff Nick Weems of abusing his power and setting what he calls a dangerous precedent. Now, we are waiting an update from the Sheriff's Department. They said this was a call to action and all because they were just being cautious. But Bob and Haley, tonight, this is becoming much bigger than a single Facebook post and actually kind of asking the question of where does the line fall when it comes to public safety and free speech.
Right. And like I say, most of those, pretty much that the internet, these social media posts and stuff, everything that you put on is monitored. And of course, it's used. They have ability with these different surveillance surveillance entities or offices or bureaucracies, and to be able to retrieve the stuff that you put up. Okay, because they'd be like, oh, it was in a private group. They have able to go into those things, right? Yes, government law enforcement can seize internet posts, but the process depends on whether the posts are public or private, right? Public posts are generally accessible without a warrant, while private information requires law enforcement to obtain a warrant on probable cause search of the information, right? You know, but you have it, with the law enforcement use of technology. All right, there are no federal laws that specifically govern law enforcement agencies' use of information from social media sites. Okay, you could just go into some of these different things. Okay, there's actual particular legislation dealing with things of this sort. Okay, they use social media to help in their operations. Okay, and investigation and intelligence gathering. Okay, so you have to be careful what you speak. Social media intelligence gathering. The use of social media to gather intelligence has generated particular interest from policymakers, analysts, and the public. Social media companies have weighed in on the issue of social media monitoring by law enforcement, and some platforms have modified their processes to express or prohibit their user data from being used by the different law enforcement to monitor social media. Law enforcement agencies themselves have reportedly grappled with the extent to how they should gather and rely on information and intelligence gleaned from social media. For instance, some observers have suggested that agencies may be reluctant to regularly analyze public social media posts, but that they could be viewed as spying on the American public and could subsequently chill free speech under the First Amendment. Okay, so you just have to go into this and such. Okay, some more on your own. I could possibly leave a link, but this is something that has been going through different entities and such, and different softwares and stuff can be used to get information. Okay, you have a certain bureaucracy called the NSA, is the U.S. Department of Defense Intelligence, responsible for foreign signals intelligence and cyber security. All right. They operate, the U.S. intelligence community operates under the authority of the Director of National Intelligence. Okay, mission, its main goal are to provide foreign signal intelligence and protect U.S. national security through systems through cyber security and other means. Okay, go figure. All right, so you gotta be not ignorant in things small or great, especially when you dealing with social media and information shared online. Okay, that could be used against you. All right, simple as that. As the statements of the prophets and stuff, as well we do. Hey, most of that gonna be used in the persecution. Okay, us, the videos which we prophesy through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, but you do have it that they are against the kingdom of this new Roman setup. All right, and you have it that the preaching in the gospel has went up, and many prophets and apostles and teachers you know, back in the Holy Scriptures have been brought up and have been released for things of that sort. And you just go into all of that on your own and such. But you know, this let you know the times in which we're in. Okay, simple as that. That you're being monitored and hunted, you know, and all. Okay. Okay. Let me see something real quick. This is the book of Micah chapter 7, and this is gonna be verse 16. It says, "The nations shall see and be confounded at all their might. They shall lay their hands upon their mouths, their ears shall be deaf." All right. This is the judgment, you know, that's coming to the heathen. Okay. Confounded, but wise, going into being discontented, disappointed, and ashamed. Okay. Like you have it with that particular individual, Captain Crunch. You know, it was counsel giving out you have to speak in a certain manner. All right. Because you have it where some of these different social media personalities, they are you know, figures for higher causes. Okay. The nation shall see and be confounded at all their might, at all their power. Okay. And that's why we are able to do what we doing, because of the Lord being with us. All right. Their ears shall be deaf. They shall lick the dust of a serpent. They shall move out their holes like the worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of Yahweh our power, and shall fear because of thee. All right. That's it. So I'm gonna leave it at that through the Spirit. You know, we know the scriptures, you know, pertaining to the persecution. But this is just something, you know, hey, when the famine of the word gonna come, you know, hey, remember, YouTube is a form of social media as well. You know, so you know, famine coming, as Amos, I think it's 8 and 11. They talk about they're gonna be a famine of the word, not a famine of bread, but hearing of the word of the power. That's gonna happen, okay? Because this word, which we speak upon many different topics, all right. There's no gray areas in the scriptures. They're not gonna want them certain topics and certain truths to be released. But we're in a time of the truth flourishing. So, you know, not to say that this guy's talking the truth. No, but with this particular individual, you know, if he you know, is talk about a particular event going down, you know, and then, you know, saying they gotta move past it and stuff like that. And E is like, no, that's our posterity, that's our children, that's, you know, our heritage. No, you gonna come in for question on that, and you know, you gonna get rebuked. So that's just that. All right, shalom to the elect. All praise, honor, glory, Yahweh, Shem, Shem, Shem,